What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's time for the interbrand confrontations as Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro show up to answer Smackdown Tag Team Champions The Usos' challenge to a title unification match. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Smackdown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE legend dealing with serious health problems, WWE referencing Chris Benoit on Smackdown, a tag team that's gonna split, more news on John Cena's return, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, building a strong champion. Now, is Ricochet the real deal? Well, initially fans were skeptical when the new IC champion jobbed out to Austin Theory on Raw and was absent from Mania, but recent weeks' matches suggest the WWE is serious about pushing Ricochet and giving the fans a secondary title to get behind while the WWE continues its seemingly endless title reign for Roman Reigns. It's always been problematic to say that the WWE is getting behind a wrestler or title given its well-documented inconsistencies, but Ricochet scored a major win by pinning a former WWE champion, that being Jinder Mahal. The fans seem behind Ricochet, so why not capitalize on his popularity and give the fans a champion they can get behind? Number 2, loving Lacey Evans. The new Lacey Evans has been a hit since her riveting return to SmackDown last week. Evans' face turn and new persona quickly grabbed the fans' attention, and it's refreshing to see the WWE building up a wrestler by playing on their very real achievements overcoming adversity. Lacey has always projected a positive image, especially for females on her social media, and now that WWE has her sharing stories of mental and physical abuse as a child and subsequent attainment of her dream of becoming a superstar, fans have plenty of reasons to cheer her on. Naturally, how they follow up on this is a true test, and while it's likely a heel opponent would taunt her with reminders from her past, things won't seek to the usual lows fans have seen in the case like Jeff Hardy's opponents, constantly reminding him of his troubles with alcohol. Number 3, mad about Madcap Moss. Is this Madcap Moss's time to finally get over? Well, the fans seem to be behind him and his face turn, which is always a good start because this may be Moss's last chance at getting over. He's been in the WWE since 2014, including a lengthy run in NXT and 2 years on the main roster. However, he does face 2 obstacles, a tendency to get hurt and uncertainty about how serious the WWE is about pushing him. They seem to want to push Moss, but the injury bug has kept it from gaining any momentum. Though if he can stay healthy, it could be a matter of time before WWE elevates him further. Number 4, did Charlotte just cut a good promo? Yeah, we had to do a double take when we heard what sounded and looked like the SmackDown Women's Champion providing one of the best interviews ever. Charlotte healed things up nicely as she dismissed various questions by stickman Drew Gulak, who's apparently hung up his boots to become an interviewer. Her response to Gulak's claims that Flair tapped out at WrestleMania was priceless as she claimed she was adjusting a bra, actually a reference to Flair's actual attire malfunction and a classic example of a heel refusing to acknowledge defeat. Flair took things to the next level by calling Gulak a quitter, insinuating he was now an interview man because he couldn't cut it in the ring, and gave Gulak a post-interview beatdown, including a session in a figure-8 leg lock where she slapped him and forced him to shout out, "I quit." That was pretty badass. Number 5, great gelling, great ending. Now, last night's showdown between RK Bro and the Usos was an epic way for RK Bro to answer the Usos' challenge to a tag team title unification match. The Usos did well, taking up their accomplishments and telling Orton and Riddle they'd do well to surrender the titles. This might have seemed like more from the same from Jay and Jimmy, but it was just the start as Randy Orton cut a legendary promo telling the Usos he grew up around their family and respected him, but as far as he was concerned, Jay and Jimmy are assholes. He continued reminding the Usos who he is and all he's accomplished in his 20-plus year career. The fans ate up every second of Orton's electrifying speech, and so did we. Orton and Riddle continue to improve every week as they gel greatly not with each other, but with different opponents including the Usos. This was on display when Riddle battled Jey Uso in a sensational singles match with an epic ending. And number 6, resting Roman. Roman Reigns' absence was felt on SmackDown, but that was a good thing because it helped avoid overexposure and it gave the Blue Brand's other wrestlers some time to shine. While Reigns has proven his ability to boost ratings, we would like to think the WWE knows the law of diminishing returns could lead to appearances on both Raw and SmackDown diluting his value. The WWE is the Roman Reigns show, but unless Reigns is going to wrestle and cut promos all night, they must build new stars, effectively utilizing existing ones and making the entire show worth tuning into. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1 a promotion or a demotion? A kudos to Drew Gulak for his dynamic debut as an interviewer on SmackDown, but should this move be seen as a promotion or a demotion for him? On one hand, the former Cruiserweight champion is a talented technician who has plenty to offer in the ring, but on the other, the 34-year-old hasn't been doing much of anything since re-upping with the WWE in 2020. Judging from Charlotte questioning Drew's shift from competitor to interviewer, there could be a storyline brewing to explain his switch. But for now, it seems to have come out of left field, and relying on the trope of an interviewer getting beat down wasn't really a good start for him. Thankfully, the WWE hasn't changed Drew's name so as to not confuse fans with Drew McIntyre. Now, there was nothing downright ugly about this show. This was one of the freshest Smackdowns in a long time, as the Blue brand seemed focused on building up undercard stars such as Madcap Moss, Ricochet and Lacey Evans, whilst also hyping the matches from WrestleMania Backlash. Smackdown is generally the superior show to Raw, but it's rare that they give so much time to wrestlers besides the Bloodline every week. With some fans and pundits thinking the WWE will end the brand split, shows like this could become the norm. What do you guys think of Smackdown this week? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, our first story looks at a WWE legend reportedly dealing with serious health problems. Atop in the news today is a report concerning former WWE superstar Virgil, aka Mike Jones. Jones, best known for his time as the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's bodyguard in the WWF, revealed on social media that he's recently suffered 2 strokes and was diagnosed with dementia. Virgil revealed he hadn't been feeling well since WrestleMania weekend and finally sought medical treatment. The doctor's diagnosis was not good. The doctor had identified I'd suffered 2 massive strokes, like I didn't even have a clue till I started not working with one of my arms. It's basically not able to do anything. This was decent news. The worst news is that I have been told that I'm fighting with an early stage dementia. The years of taking the big main event bump every night that nobody else wanted to take has started to affect me. Now, Virgil disclosed that he's arranged various fundraisers to help with his expenses, including selling autographs, video shoutouts, or you could even download his video game for $2. Virgil ended his message by telling the public, "I ain't looking for sympathy. I'm looking for the love I have poured into this business to hopefully carry me through this shitty time. I did my time. I took my bumps. Now I'm just trying to survive. Hope this makes sense. Love you all." Now, we send our best to Virgil as he deals with this illness and provide a link to anyone wishing to help in the description down below. Next up, WWE references Chris Benoit on Smackdown. Now, fans had to be doing a double take after color commentator Pat McAfee referred to Sheamus and Ridge Holland's heavy-hitting henchman Butch, aka former star Pete Dunne, as the Rabid Wolverine, one of the late Chris Benoit's many nicknames. Now the WWE Universe is wondering if McAfee had a slip of the tongue or if the WWE is adopting this nickname for Butch to continue his push as an out-of-control wrestler who loves a good fight. While Benoit can be found in WWE videos and WWE Network, the company has avoided any mention of Benoit's name during WWE television, which naturally has fans asking why now. Did McAfee slip up? If not, is this Butch's new nickname? If so, will fans be asking if the WWE is doing so to bury Benoit's memory further by having a new Rabid Wolverine in the company, or is this part of a long-term plan to restore Benoit's legacy as a wrestler after years of focusing on his horrific crime? Well, regardless of the reasons, you can be certain fans are going to be talking about this all week as they wait to see if this is Butch's real new nickname. Next up, more tag team troubles. Now, if last night's Smackdown is any hint, the WWE looks to be ready to split up Los Lotharios, that of Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Garza berated Carrillo after Humberto's loss to Madcap Moss, a hint the team, which has been together since November 2021, are on a way to Splitsville. Ironically, some fans thought the WWE put the tag team together because they had no idea what to do with them as single stars, and now it appears the promotion is equally clueless about their value as a tag team. Next up, an NXT star working as a manager. Is NXT superstar LA Knight being promoted to work as a manager on the main roster? Well, a photo tweeted perfectly showing Knight managing Mace during a dark match on SmackDown. And while this could be a test run, could the 39-year-old former $1 Million champion be transitioning into a new role in the squared circle? And finally, more news on John Cena's return. Now, as we noted in a previous news video, Brad Shepard reported that Cena is reportedly making some sort of appearance in the WWE in June, but just what the role is remains unknown. In a follow-up report, Ringside News' Steve Carrier tweeted, "A lot of people are talking about John Cena and a possible summer return. We asked about this and the idea wasn't shut down. We also learned that Cena is always on call. He's under contract for a few more years and available in case of emergency to WWE. While Cena is busy in Hollywood, he always seems ready for an in-ring return when his schedule allows, as seen by his match at WrestleMania 36 and at last year's SummerSlam. But there you have it guys, I'll look at Smackdown this week as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.